the Anunnaki creation story of the moon and the sun. This cuneiform tablet goes back thousands of years, and it is a translation that's about 106 years old, what we're looking at right now. So this is available if you go to Cuneiform Parallels of the Old Testament. I'll leave a link in the video description box. You can read this directly yourself. This is the creation of the moon and the sun when the gods Anu, Olil, and Ea, which is Enlil and Enki, the great gods, through their unchangeable counsel and powerful commands, fixed the crescent of the moon to cause the new moon to shine forth to create the month. Signs for heaven and earth they fixed, the new moon, which was created in heaven with majesty. In the midst of heaven arose. When Anu, Olil, and Ea, the great gods, through their unchangeable counsel, fixed the forms of heaven and earth, and the hands of the great gods entrusted them to create the day and to renew the month as signs for mankind, men saw Shamash in the gate of his going forth. In the midst of heaven and earth, they commanded him faithfully. Then it talks about another version of the creation of the world by Marduk, which is interesting. And also, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know this podcast is brought to you in part by SafeBolt. SafeBolt is the most secure way to keep your digital information secure and encrypted. Check out SafeBolt today, making it easy to communicate securely, offering cloud communication services to ensure that your conversations stay private. I just got my email set up with SafeBolt. Also, from encrypted email, also chat to secure cloud storage with enterprise-level security available to you at a very affordable consumer price point. Hello, Nanu, check them out today. Secured encrypted email, secure cloud storage, mobile chat add-ons, business opportunities as well if you have a business and you need to encrypt your information there. Multiple layers of protection utilizing end-to-end encryption protocols. Go to safebolt.com today. Let them know Leak Project sent you. I will leave a code in the video description box for a special Leak Project discount. Okay, now let's go back to the exciting part here. This is incredible to say the least because these tablets go back so far. When you read the Sumerian king list, there's several king lists. One of them dates back over 400,000 years when you combine them all together. How long ago was the moon created? When did it happen? So let's go here. I want to scroll down a little bit. Past this. Yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting right here. Because this is cosmology, and it describes how to get rid of a toothache with cosmology and magic. It's titled An Incantation Against Toothache. This text is here given, though it belongs properly with the literature of magic, because it begins with a cosmological introduction, which purports to give the life history of the worm that causes toothache. This is deep, folks. Stay with me on this. You want to listen to this? I've got so much more to bring to you. Here we go. After Anu had created the heavens created the earth created the rivers created the canals created the morass created the worm. Then came the worm weeping before Shamash. Before Ea came her tears. What wilt thou give me for my food? What wilt thou give me to destroy? I will give thee ripe figs and jam of great figs. What are these ripe figs to me? And jam of great figs. Exalt me, and between the teeth and the gums set me, that I may devour the blood of the teeth, and of the gum gnaw the cartilage. Fix the pin, seize the foot. Since thou hast said this, O worm, may Ea smite thee with the might of his fist. Incantation of the toothache. This is the magic ritual. Mix beer, the plant Sacklebur, and oil together. Repeat thereon the incantation thrice, and put it on his tooth. There you go. That's how they did it back in the day, folks. I mean, you didn't even need to go to the dentist. That was the dentist. That's what the dentist did. They're like, all right, get over here. And they called down the Anunnaki gods to eliminate the worm from the tooth with incantations and the mixture of beer, the plant Sacklebur, and oil. Now, what kind of oil? And then, they had to repeat it. So, very cool. Now, let's go to the next one here. The Assyrian cosmology. This is powerful because this is a different tablet that describes the beginning, and the great God is not Marduk. There's so many creation stories with different gods, but they have similar undertones. It's like they're all adopting these storylines, saying, no, you're not the God, I'm the God. My God is bigger than your God. But here's what's fascinating. When you get through some of this stuff, the astrotheology, if you look at it from that aspect, is phenomenal. And if you look at the possibility of the electric universe, and at one point, the universe being electric, and at one point the world was covered in this very beautiful purple shroud, so we didn't see the stars and the sun. But we saw Saturn as the sun. And what if these cosmic events caused such great chaos that it ripped that veil open and caused the Grand Canyon, possibly that huge canyon on Mars, from these flybys of these planets? The cosmology of the Assyrians is rooted in the cosmology of the Babylonians and developed quite naturally after the separation of the two peoples began. In Assyria, the chief god of Babylon, Marduk, is displaced as the national god. Ashur takes his place, just as Marduk had in earlier times displaced Enlil in Babylonia, or Enlil. The oldest form of the name of Ashur was Ashir, but when speculation and comparison of the older literature began, he was identified with Anshar. Unhappily, no complete Assyrian cosmological text has come down to us, and we can only illustrate their beliefs by two fragments. The Assyrian creation text. Here we go. It's very interesting. The key of the rising, after he had determined the days, the watch of the night and the day, the breadth of Tiamat. See, that's interesting. After he determined the days, the watch of the night and the day. That is showing that at one point there wasn't a night and a day. It's now been separated. The breadth of Tiamat did Anshar create. He brought together the assault of the wind. He determined, he established the head. He opened a spring. He opened and he opened. He opened her nostrils. He poured down the spring. There's a lot of text missing there. A cedar, Adad. He placed upon the scepter of peace from the glory. The one that receives him is the mighty ocean. In it, in his sanctuary, the gods, as many as there were, Lakhmu and Lakhamu, they made. In the presence of Anshar, Nanar, the second, he spake. The God, when to the word, since the days when thou. Everything which thou hast said. Now, once again, there's a lot of text missing above there. Everything which thou hast said, Anshar opened his mouth and spake to the gods. That which is above the ocean, the home of, a copy of Ashara, which I have builded, beneath I have fortified the places. I will build a house, the dwelling. In its interior will I found a city. Afterward from the ocean, the place, the shade, the habitations of the great gods, his Father, over all that thy hands have founded, over the earth which thy hands have created, the city of Ashur, the name of which thou hast pronounced. I know for eternity, whatever our work which we have fashioned, the place. It's unfortunate that so much is missing from these tablets. They rejoiced of the gods, that which they have known, he opened. Number 2, Ashur, the creator. To Ashur, king of all the gods, their creator, father of the gods, whose hand was developed in the ocean, king of the heavens and the earth, Lord of all the gods, sustainer of the Ajiji and the Anunnaki, creator of the heaven of Anu and of the Hades, maker of all men. I'm going to stop there for a moment. So Ashur is the creator of the heaven of Anu. So the creator of Uranus, the creator of Hades, the maker of all men. That is very powerful. Now, dweller in the brilliant skies, Lord of the gods. Dweller in the brilliant skies, Lord of the gods, determiner of destiny, inhabitant of Ashara, which is in Ashur. To his great Lord, his Lord, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, maker of the statue of Ashur, the great gods, the length of his days, the goodness of his heart, the stability of his years of reign. And this is from a small fragment in the British Museum, 5413A, dedicated by Sennacherib to Ashur. So it's quite instructive as showing the creative position claimed for Ashur in the 8th century. There's some more parallels. This is fascinating. An Assyrian building inscription with cosmological material. Need a drink. I have a drinking problem. I go through like 2 kombuchas a day. Luckily, you can now buy these things in bulk. I know I could also make it myself. I've done that in the past, but these things taste so good. Love it. Okay. Cuneiform parallels. An Assyrian building inscription with cosmological material. A building inscription of Sennacherib contains some cosmological references which supply useful hints concerning the development of the faith of Ashur. The text describes a bronze door erected by the king in the New Year's festival house at Ashur Kalat Shurgat, which has recently been discovered and laid bare by the Deutsche Orient Gesellschaft. Okay. A door of gleaming red bronze, which, like the work of the god of the forge, I caused to be made by my artistic skill, a representation of Ashur when he went to battle into the sea. As he bore the bow, or bow, while he drove upon the chariot and let loose the storm flood. And a representation of Amaru, who drove with him as charioteer, according to the command of Shamash and Adad. Now remember, Shamash is the sun god, given me in haruspication or haruspicatian. What is that word? I've never seen that word before. Somebody's going to totally school me on that. Thank you. But let's get back to the important thing here. Give me haruspication. Haruspication, is that it? I graved upon that door, I'm going to have to look that up in a minute. The gods who go before him and go behind him, who drive in chariots and go afoot, also as they before Ashur, are ordered in line of battle, and behind Ashur are ordered in line of battle. Tiamat, the beings within her, among which came Ashur, the king of the gods, to battle. I graved according to the command of Shamash and Adad. Upon that door, the remaining gods who go afoot according to the command of Shamash and Adad. Before Ashur binds Tiamat, the beasts which Tiamat bears. To death given over, therefore, run hither and thither afoot with their hands, according to the command of Shamash and Adad. As I had reverse determined for the door, I graved of silver, gold, copper. I set up vessels of silver, gold, copper. The following lines are most unintelligible. But at the close comes a list of the gods represented in the sculptures on the bronze doors as follows. The image of Ashur, who goes to battle into the sea, the image of Sennacherib, king of Assyria. Sharer, Shargaz, Gaga. Not to be, never mind, I'm not going to say it. Nusku, Shulmanu, Tishku, Ninib of the wall, Azag Suga, Kani Sabiti. These are the gods who go before Ashur. Ninlil, Sharua, Sin, Ningal, Shamash, Ajah, Lalit. Anu, Antum, Adad, Shalah, Ea, Damkina. Belatalani, Ninib. These are the gods who go behind Ashur. The following words are on the left margin. The victorious prince seated upon Ashur's chariot, Tiamat with the creatures within her. So that's fascinating because a lot of people think Anu is, the king of the Anunnaki. Well, look at all the names prior to Anu. And wow, that's fascinating. So then it gets into an address of the river of creation. Let's talk about this for a minute, because this is interesting. An address to the river of creation. O thou river, who didst create all things. When the great gods dug thee out, they set prosperity upon thy banks. Within thee, Ea, the king of the deep, created his dwelling. A deluge unparalleled to thee they gave. Fire and wrath and splendor and terror have Ea and Marduk presented unto thee. Thou judgest the cause of mankind. O great river, exalted river, river of sanctuaries. Now, the next podcast I'm going to get into with you guys and gals is going to be the dragon and demons, Elil and the Labu. And then this gets into the 7 demons. Enlil fights the dragon. The dragon is huge. This is a fascinating story. It needs its own podcast. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for all of your excellent contributions, your incredible knowledge base that you've brought to the table. There are so many things on the horizon, folks, that you will have an opportunity to be a part of as well here in the very near future, and I can't wait to share it with you. Be excellent to each other. Question everything. Be the change you want to see.